Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to have a little chat about income protection. Income protection means different things to different people. But what is really income protection? Just like you have insurance for your car, for your house, for your valuables, you should probably have insurance also for your income. And what do I mean by that? Well, your income is your most valuable asset. That's what allow you to function to afford your lifestyle. So your income should definitely be protected. So what do we mean by income protection? Well, there are different types of income protection. One type of income protection is disability insurance. So disability insurance pay you in case you are disabled. There are short-term or long-term disability, and some employers offer disability insurance. Actually, there are 5 states that mandate short-term disability insurance. Hopefully you live in one of those 5 states and you could get insurance. We have California, Hawaii, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. Those states, it's a requirement to for the employees to get short-term disability insurance. But not all state offers that. It is a good thing to have because it allows you, and some or one form of disability insurance is the family leave. If you have a sick one at home, you can take a leave of absence. You're still getting income while you take care of, your family member, which is really, the burden from you having to worry about your income while you're taking care for a loved one. And they said that 23% of people take care of a loved one or older, relative, and it put a burden on their income. So income protection is one thing you should really look into. Like I said, there are short-term and long-term disability insurance, but it doesn't cover your whole income. Most long-term disability insurance covers up to 60% of your income. If you cannot work, if you become disabled, it covers up to that. That means the other 40%, you are on your own to bridge that gap. But to the end, Social Security disability also is another type of disability. It's the most common and it is not that high. But today, we want to talk about another type of, um, you know, not disability insurance. And why do we want to talk about disability insurance? Well, it is because it, most people would become disabled. They said there is a survey that was done and it says you have a 25% chance of becoming disabled during your before retirement. So during your career, you have a 25% chance of becoming disabled for at least 5 years. So 1 in 8 workers become disabled for 5 or more years during their working careers. So that's one of the reasons why you should be looking into income protection. And again, 50% of Americans say they can draw from their saving and investment to pay their bill if they become disabled, but only 57% said their investment and savings wouldn't last more than 6 months to cover their bills. And like I said, long-term insurance only covers up to, not necessarily 65%, but up to 65 or 60% of your income if you become disabled. But what happened when you die prematurely? And that is that type of insurance that I want to talk to you about today in protecting your income. Yes, it is good to have the disability income if you can get it. If you have it at work, good for you. Get all type of coverage that you can. But there is one type of coverage that people most often don't think about, and actually 40% of all Americans do not have income protection. And it's because they think it's too expensive to have. It can be expensive if you do not know how to do it right. And today I'm going to give you a clue on how to do income protection right. The income protection that we are talking about today is the income protection that would replace your income in case you die, early. If you have a family, you have children, you have a spouse, you have elder parents, depending on your income, you should definitely have income protection in case you pass away. Your income they would still have your income to depend on to keep the same lifestyle they had when you were alive. Now, for income protection, if you have children, the younger the children, the more income protection you should have. And what I mean by that, let's say you make $60,000 a year, you should have enough income replacement for at least 15 years. Depends on the your children's age. The younger they are, the more income protection you should have. The older they are, then the less income protection you need. Meaning, if you should have income protection that would carry your kids to at least 25, the youngest to at least 25 years of age. If the child is 10 now, you should have at least 15 years of income replacement. If they are 5, you should have at least 20 years of income replacement. That means if you drop them today or tomorrow, your income, the insurance on your life would give them enough income to replace for 20 years of you working, so that they could mourn you, but know that the income would still be coming every month. They won't have to worry about losing the home, who they're going to live with, and what they can afford to get now that you are no longer here. So that's the type of income protection that we are actually talking about: income protection or income replacement, so that it would, in case of your early demise, your income would be replaced. Because there is nothing worse than to lose somebody and then not knowing how you're going to bury them, and not knowing how most people that I encounter, I come across in real estate, that either are in foreclosure, losing their homes, or in some types of hardship is due to death or disease. A loved one became sick, became disabled, and they can no longer afford to keep the house because there was no income protection. The loved one passed away, they are losing the house. We have to do a short sale, or we have to do a quit claim deed, or some type of arrangement with the bank. Why? Because there was no income protection to make sure that the person who stayed behind can still live a decent life, because there was income protection. So what should your insurance cover? Your insurance should cover, and or like we said, based on your children's age, your insurance should cover at least 10 to 15 years of your yearly income. It should also cover, if you have a house, it should cover the mortgage that is left on the house. If you have car payments, it should cover that as well. And it should definitely cover your funeral costs, which right now it's an average of $15,000 for simple funeral. So your funeral cost, it's a no-brainer. That should be included in your life insurance. But also your life insurance should cover enough, should be high enough that it would cover the mortgage if you die soon. It should also cover if you have any outstanding debt that should be able to get paid in your life insurance policy. And as well, it should replace your income for at least 10 to 15 years. So that would give you a good idea of how much of an income replacement you need. Also, if you have children and you want to send them to college, you want your life insurance policy to be high enough that it would, could pay for sending your children to college. So get an estimate of how well they would like to go and how much it would cost so that you know exactly what type of insurance you would need and how much of life insurance you would need. If you need a quote about life insurance, definitely reach out to us. Feel free to give us a call, get in touch, inbox me on Facebook. You can put a comment on YouTube. Also, my phone number is at the end of the video. You can reach out to me. I can do that for you free of charge. But your life insurance, which also include your income protection, should be high enough that it protects it covers your income for at least 10 to 15 years so that your family can live the same lifestyle even if you pass away in the near future. We get life insurance just for the same reason that we get car insurance. We get car insurance in case we get into an accident. And also it's the law. In most states, it is the law. In only 3 states, you don't have to have car insurance. It's not the law. But in most states, you need to have car insurance. You should not be driving without car insurance. But really, what car insurance does, it gives you peace of mind that if you do get into a car accident, the insurance company would pay for the damages, hospital bills, and all those things. It's the same thing for life insurance. When you get life insurance, you should get enough life insurance that if you are injured, you drop dead, your insurance would pay for your funeral costs, the house that you leave behind, for your kids' college, for if you leave any other outstanding debt, your life insurance should pay for that. But we live in the real world, and I do understand that not everybody can afford the amount of life insurance they should have. And that's understandable, especially if you are starting out and do not have life insurance at all. You should definitely not only look into it, but get yourself some life insurance right now. Not tomorrow, not maybe next year, because let's face it, we are living in a pandemic. There is no guarantee if we'll be alive next month. We hope that we will be. We hope that we will not be affected by the pandemic. We won't be one of the casualty of the pandemic. But really, there is no guarantee. So you should hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And life insurance prepare you for the worst. Prepare your family. It's a plan in case the unthinkable happen. It's a plan in case what we don't want to happen, but we are still covered. Those we are leaving behind, our loved ones, they are covered. So that's why we are talking about income protection, income replacement. Like I said, you need to have enough to cover all these costs. But if you don't have enough money, if you cannot afford to have insurance policy that is high enough to cover everything, start where you are. Start with what you can afford. You can have a plan where every year you can increase it a little bit so that maybe in 10 years you will get to where you need to get. But start somewhere. Something is better than nothing. Some people say, well, you know what, I cannot afford, I want $1 million in coverage, I cannot afford it, so what's the point? Well, the point is, if you die tomorrow, you don't need $1 million to be buried. But if you left 100,000, it might not be enough to pay for your mortgage or your car, but it would be enough to bury you and enough to at least give your family, room to breathe for at least a good year. If they know how to manage money, that would be enough income for them to pay the bills, not go crazy, but still pay the bills and manage for at least a year until they find out what they're going to do. You need to start somewhere. It's better to start small than not start at all. And most people don't have life insurance. Like I said, 40% of Americans do not have any type of life insurance at all because they think it's too expensive. If you depends on what kind of life insurance you have, it might be very expensive. But if you get the right type of life insurance, it is not too expensive. I mean, it is a given, it is not too expensive at all. Even for low income family, it is not too expensive. Susie Orman, the financial guru, in her book, The Road to Wealth, said, I strongly believe that term is the best insurance for the vast majority of people, and it literally costs a fraction of other forms of life insurance. And that is true. Term costs a lot less than whole life. So my recommendation to you would be to get a term policy and invest the difference. That's what we prone, because when you get a low and enough cost policy, you can afford it. And if you have extra money, you can always put that on the side in an investment account, in an emergency account, so that you can have money put aside for a rainy day. But in the meantime, start where you are, do what you can, and start protecting your income, start protecting your family, your children, your parents, anybody who would suffer if you were to die soon. You need to keep them in mind and protect them. So we will come back with what type of insurance you should get, and how do you determine how much insurance you need to get. But for now, that's where we're going to camp. Just telling you that you need to get your income protected, because your income is your most um, valuable asset. So until next time, this is your friend Luna saying, be protected.